Arts and Ming Chen.
Thank you, Jake, for your introduction. And I think this is the time that we introduce our film. This project is to produce 60 minutes educational digital film for publication and distribution worldwide. The purpose of the film is to sort of give a glimpse of Chinese culture through the introduction of 6 representative dance forms and its related cultural traditions, including ethnicities and the customs and people's way of life. We will be presenting together, Sandra and I. So, next.
And with, as you can probably see, with high quality visuals and sound, our film and the project address topics including what inspired people to create dance and how contemporary artists breathe new life into the traditional dance forms, and what are some of the features and techniques of the relevant dance forms.
Our project partners are Kennesaw State University faculty members from various disciplines, including those from College of Arts and College of Humanities and Social Sciences and College of Business. And we also come from different cultural backgrounds, including mainland China, Taiwan, and the United States.
And so through a interdisciplinary and intercultural collaboration, we raised $50,000 from different grants and private donations to financially support our project and also to produce the footage and the final product of the film.
Aside from academic funding organizations, we also have sponsors from private donors in Atlanta and from business corporations in China as well.
And to engage the local community, we actually have 2 intern opportunities for students studying business from Georgia Tech and Southern Polytechnic State University, and I believe is that Han Wen. She's actually one of our interns.
Yes. During the production process, we collaborated with a cinematographer from CCTV and his crew of 3. Together, we joined force with local managers and Chinese government officials in Beijing, Inner Mongolia, Xishuangbanna, and I believe Kunming and Shangri-La and Shanghai. We went to a lot of places.
And over the trip, we interviewed 5 dance masters and professionals. We also worked with different dance groups to produce the footage. And during the post-production, it was all completed at KSU. And the film is currently being used at the KSU classes, including general education courses.
Due to the limitation of time and budget, as well as people's availability, we needed to use some of the existing footages, archival footages in this film. And we are working to acquire right to these footages so that we can include these in our film. And we plan to publish our work as soon as the footage was cleared. Clearance, copyright clearance is complete.
And this experience was truly amazing and venture for us, all of us. And it was filled with artistic vision, interdisciplinary, intercultural, and international collaboration among scholars, artists, filmmakers, student interns, and business owners from the US and China.
Now, are you ready to see the film? Okay, I hope you enjoy the film. Let's share.
Mongolians excel at horse riding. The breadth of the Great Plain has cultivated the characters of openness and strength in this ethnic group and nurtured their vigorous, bold, and energetic dances. The distinguishing features of Mongolian postures and movements include the torso leaning back, eyes looking far away, legs opening outward, body swinging with confidence and balance, palms pushing out back and forth, rich and varied arm and shoulder movements to imitate horse riding, all of which embodies the essence of an ethnic group who thrives on grassland and horseback. Drawing from the raw material from Mongolian horse dance, the choreographer of Leaping Horses conceives his dance piece as a metaphor of alive and contemporary China.
那么当然现在的话呢，我觉得有这么一段诗歌啊，可能能代表我所想法。这里的草原曾经一片宁静，这里的天空曾经风云迭起，这里的骏马嘶鸣着笑，这里的牧民飞舞着彪悍，他们创造矫健，他们蕴藏着澎湃。他们如旋风般驰骋草原，他们在浩瀚的北方高原演绎着马背民族的壮美与豪放。所以我觉得这个一个理解这个民族的他的这个民族性格，所以说来创造他们的舞蹈的时候，我觉得是要根据他这个民族的根性来做它，所以说我在做蒙古族舞蹈做的会，我觉得就是歌里强调在奔腾里面强调的一往无前的精神。 效应。这里的牧民非武装、彪悍，他们创造矫健，他们蕴含澎湃，他们如旋风般驰骋草原，他们在浩瀚的北方高原演绎着马背民族的壮美与豪放。所以我觉得这个一个理解这个民族的他的这个民族性格，所以说来创作他们的舞蹈的时候，我觉得是要根据他这个民族的根性来做它。所以说我在做蒙古族舞蹈做的会，我觉得就是特别强调在奔腾里面强调就是一往无前的精神。
If I had the script, I could just keep talking through it, but I'm not. We're going to go ahead and let the film just continue just for the visuals, and I think we can now go ahead and take some questions for any of our members of the panel, Ming Chen, Sandra Parks, Rowan Gibbs, or John Pellick. Who has a question? Yes.
I want to know what inspired you to do this particular piece. Like, what was it that, like, why at this particular time frame and why it was, like, what inspired you to do this piece?
I think what is important, I think it's a global learning opportunity for our students. And we provide this content because most of the time when you introduce dance, they are just dance. We put the dance in the cultural context. So that's what's special about this. And we like it to be used in our classes, especially general education classes.
And for me, it's dance and culture studies is a very important topic in dance studies. So when Professor Chan asked me to join this project, I immediately jumped on it. It was an important issue that has been happening in the dance studies. So for me, it's very important professionally as well as personally.
And I was a part of it because I've never really done a full feature-length documentary before, and I've only done usually just short subject documentaries, so it was a chance to be a part of a larger production team. And I had, been to China before, actually, through Meigao, and so it was a chance to go back and see places that I think that we can all agree would be places that we almost never see otherwise, and so it was very rewarding in that way too. Yes?
Which I heard is very clear, some of the King's University, all the students, I have a question to the customer. Okay, so how does your game make revenue?
How does the game make revenue?
Revenue?
Revenue? Okay. That's actually the exact question I asked myself when I was working there. It took me like 3 weeks to ask myself. So typically what you do when you make a game is you sell it as a unit for a certain amount of price, but all our games are completely free on the website. And what we do is we're able to go to vendors. We're able to go, I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm just going to say, I know for a mock-up we were using Kraft makes Lunchables, right, for kids stuff. I'm like, hey, sponsor our game. Look, we get 1 million views a week or something like that. We get 1 million views a thing, and so they give us money. It's all, I'm not actually on a businessy ad revenue side. I have some slides I wanted to talk about, but that is basically how it works. Vendors give large amounts of money to advertise their products, and what our job is to do is to create games that drive traffic to the website. And we often make games that correspond with shows. So if like Adventure Time has a big new season release, we'll try to release an Adventure Time game with it. And that is how we make revenue, so I'm told. I don't know, they just pay me. So, yeah, that is, it's all ad revenue. And I can't even pretend to be an expert on ad revenue, but that is how it works. And actually, currently, we don't have a sponsor for this game, which is weird. We actually have the luxury of not begging for a sponsor, or like, we don't need a sponsor for it, just let traffic come in, because we can actually go into the game and put, you know, this game brought to you by macaroni and cheese, or brought to you by whatever kids like. And, I don't know what they like these days.
So Roman, I know you were dying to say why Dexter was older.
Oh, yeah, no, that's actually, the reason he's older, okay, I'll give 2 reasons why he's older. So the reason he's older is this game takes place in a universe called Fusion Fall, which is actually a previous game that came out ages ago. That's boring, whatever. So he's actually older. The reason he's older in that game is the art style of Dexter. You guys have seen Dexter's Lab, right? The art style doesn't, it's very hard to put characters from a different game all together because those art styles don't match up. It looks terrible. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't have the right feel to it. So they made Dexter be grown up, and you have to play him grown up. But what it does in our game is we try to create a synergy where your kid can play a game, and there's new characters like the Adventure Time, the regular show guys in there, or whatever, or Ben 10 is really big with younger kids. And we also dropped Johnny Bravo in their Dexter's Lab, so people, you know, and they're 25, 35, 45, who grew up watching that stuff, you know, their kid will be able to play Ben 10, like, oh look, also Johnny Bravo's there that you can play, so you can relate to your kid playing, you know, or maybe even, you know, the idea is to actually play with your kid. That would be fun. We think that would be fun. So we try to provide some synergy between the old and the new characters.
My question to Mr. Keller.
Yes.
Could you please tell a little bit about your movie? What kind of history is behind your movie?
That's what we just said. That's actually 2 films. First one is Isle of Dogs, and that is that was shot in the UK. And the next one is Whispers. We actually wrapped the last part of shooting that 2.5 weeks ago. We shot both in Los Angeles and the UK. With both of the films, they actually took, some of the films started production, it took 2 years with those particular projects on each. Some of the projects you can start up in less than, and wrap in less than 6 months. It's a period between funding, pre-production, getting everything organized, filming, and then post-production is always, and he knows better than this, is always your biggest time frame where it's going to kill you on time.
I'd like to throw out there that how long, Sandra, take us through the post-production process for your film?
Well, for the post-production for that was just a chapter that we
Just
saw,
one chapter.
and total finished product is about 60 minutes-ish. And we finished filming, came back to the U.S. in June, and then we started right away. We did not get done it by the whole thing until November, near the end of November. But granted that we're all teaching in the university as well, so I only have evening to work on these, and I also have a 5-year-old, so yeah.
So the 5-year-old could have been playing Rowan's game, and then everybody.
Everyone would be, yeah, so we have
We're working things out here. All right. What other questions? Yeah.
Could you, for the documentary, tell us a little bit about preparation you had to do before you went?
Pre-production.
That work you had to do either with the government or preparation before you went to do the film?
Okay. We spend a huge amount of time contacting people in China, and we have a lot of people actually volunteered. We raised the fund like $50,000, but actually in-kind contribution is a lot. You know, people volunteer their time and send us to a lot of places with cars, and we didn't pay them anything. They just, helped us. And it takes quite a amount of time, preparation, get everything ready for people to go. Yeah, different locations, and this is only a part, a section of it, one chapter out of 7 chapters. And we went to a lot of places, but only we have 12 days or something. We shoot all this footage. And so you could imagine there's a lot of work involved in contacting. get everything ready.
We worked with CCTV, the national channel, which also I think helped us to, you know, gain access to certain places and kind of smooth things over as well.
For Mr. Gibbs, I was wondering about the global reception of your games. Are they popular in other countries, particularly in Asian countries?
So this is kind of awkward, I guess, because a problem we had when we released the game is too many people were playing it, and our servers couldn't handle, it's a multiplayer game, right? So you have to connect to a server and you play, and we had a problem where too many people wanted to play the game, and our servers just couldn't handle the mass amounts of people. So we said, what can we do to solve this quickly? Because the servers would go down, the game was unplayable, at least have the servers up and be full. And we blocked traffic, not from the United States. and that's what actually that really helped. But you then see forum lists like, I'm in Brazil, I want to play your game, sad face. It's like, oh man, sorry, there's nothing, we're only given a certain amount of server space for our games, and that's all we can handle. So our actual games in the international market, we don't do that. Now, there's some interesting studies about the shows, because Cartoon Network makes the majority of their money from their shows. We're kind of just like the digital part, very smaller part of it. And just today we had a big quarterly meeting, and I found out some stuff that I didn't know about the Asian markets and European markets, like certain shows, and some shows do well and some shows don't. And actually the floor below us is Cartoonio, which is Cartoon Network in Latin America, I think. And they have their own division, and I know they do a lot of reruns of kind of like the old Hanna-Barbera stuff. So they have our games, sorry, I'm getting completely off track here. Our game's not international. Unfortunately, I would love for everyone to play it, but just they're not played internationally. The shows, they vary all over, and I couldn't tell you specifics on which ones do well. We have whole like divisions for Cartoon Network, continents, Cartoon Network Africa, we have Cartoon Network.
Follow up. One of the reasons I asked the question was because I was interested in the cultural aspect of these games. Did you tailor the culture and so forth? But maybe I could pass this question to Mr. Taylor, since he's making a film about gangsters in Britain.
Yeah.
How does that work exactly?
For cultural side, actually, one side of it, you can have some of the films that I know that are not going to pass the violence or the political background that are not going to do well in some of the countries. Or we can, and actually we're actually working on a project that tailors to the Asian market, especially China, with one of the stories we have. Based around the Flying Tigers, which I know is pretty big for both sides. But yeah, we try to reach out both internationally. When you do your distribution for most of the films, it goes on domestic here in the United States and Europe, Asia, all the continents. It breaks it up how you get it distributed out, and that's where you get all your numbers and you see where that film does the best. You put a little bit more into the advertising and marketing in the other places.
Okay, so you don't really plan ahead, but you just kind of throw it out and see where it goes?
You kind of do a market study, where would this film do the best? Okay, the Isle of Dogs, when it's what you could probably say more closer to a Guy Ritchie film type film. So that does really good in Europe, does really good in the United States. Maybe wouldn't do as well in other countries. Maybe not as good in Asia and Africa or South America. But yeah, we try. It's a business, and it is show business, not show art. So we do look at the aspects of the business, try to do a good study on it, and try to put a product out there that makes money. Oh, yeah.
My question is Dr. Chen and Fox. Why Mongolia and Mongolian types? Why not pure country bands? Because I know there are a lot of bands by country.
Yeah, actually, we have 7 chapters. The first chapter is on the classical Dunhuang dance. That's one of the photos that you saw in the slides. And then we have the Inner Mongolian, the one that you saw. And we also have Tibetan dance. We have another smaller group called the Aini group. They're from the south, and the Dai group. And one of the big chapter is Han, that we introduce different type of props and dances from the people in the village, and that is one of the chapters.
If you have your Uyghur population,
Oh, you good. Yeah, good.
Yeah, we wanted to take that one.
Yeah, there's limited limitations in time and budget and everything, so we have to choose and pick. Yeah, speak of the preparation for the production. I actually went to the pre-trip, the locations got sort of to pick and choose what the site needs to be shoot at and pick the locations. And so that the preparation is much longer. And we had people help, like Howard's dad, job as a wand, those people just absolutely helpful and really gracious. I think we are indebted to them.
Are there any more questions? And I'm saying that also because the lights are in my eye and I can't see if there's anybody. So if you have another question, you can also just kind of yell it out. Shout it out. All right. Okay. Well, I think this was a really great panel, and we had just a lot of creativity, a lot of eye candy, and so I want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon. Thank you.